Describe what you saw.
I saw myself as a child. I was playing with my sister in the woods. It's not far away from the castle. I could see it behind the trees. There was a man there, too.
Could you make out who it is?
No, he had his back to me. But something very bad has happened.
What's happened?
My sister, she's fallen in a hole. She's screaming. What should I do?
Adrian, you're not there anymore. Remember what you did at the time.
I ran to the hole, and I don't know. I can't remember. You woke me up before I could help her.
I didn't wake you up, Adrian. You woke up of your own accord. It would appear everything in you is trying to fend off this memory. Seems you really want to suppress it.
Or I just can't remember.
The memory is still there. You just need to let it happen.
It's easy for you to say.
Perhaps you should tackle this memory in a conscious state. Try and find the place in the woods that you saw. You need an anchor in the present.
If you say so.
And with regards to the hallucinations, I've ordered a medication. It should help to suppress them.
Very good. I'll take it. At least you can rely on conventional medicine.
Please take this prescription and give it to a buyer in the shop. She'll give you the medication.
Oh, she's a pharmacist too?
In a little village like this, everyone has more than one role.
Doctor?
How can I help you?
Something strange happened to me last night. I don't know what was real and what wasn't.
Tell me about it, Adrian.
I was just on my way back to the village when I was attacked by large black dogs in the woods. Fortunately, there was a shack close by, which I was able to hold up in. I couldn't get back out through the door. Once I cut my way outside through the floor with a chainsaw, there were no signs the dogs had been there at all. Then I fell unconscious. Supposedly, Murray found me there in the middle of the night and brought me back to the hotel. I can't remember any of that.
A classic dream of repression. The black dogs, and then... there's nothing there. It's a deep-seated fear of the consequences of your actions.
What do these black dogs mean? What kind of creatures are they?
Fleeing from vicious, aggressive dogs. That sounds like a typical nightmare. It expresses the fear of one's own aggressive side. Were the dogs alone, or was someone with them?
No, they were alone. Just the dogs.
Dogs who roam around without a human master suggests a suppressed issue with dominance. It could also suggest exactly the opposite, though. That the dreamer is neglecting a particular part of himself, which is alluded to by the nature of the dogs. What breed of dog were they?
No idea. Hellhounds? They were definitely huge and black.
Large dogs reinforce the meaning I was talking about. The fact that they're black would suggest their origin in the subconscious.
Are there any tablets I can take for this? I saw a woman dressed in white. Almost looked like some kind of wedding dress.
Where did you see her?
When I was locked in the shack, from the window, she was standing on the edge of the clearing. She saw me and then disappeared into the woods.
Did she say anything, or do anything?
Well, I didn't hear anything, but perhaps. She certainly wasn't just wandering around. It almost seemed as though she was looking for something.
Really? There's a legend here in Willow Creek about a white lady who wanders through the woods looking for her child. In vain, as the story goes, but no one has ever seen her.
Until now.
Don't worry, Adrian. That's a completely natural reaction to this myth. It originates from the collective longing for a pure mother figure who can be adored like a saint. Part of the whole thing that there are chosen ones who perceive her apparition. And everyone wants to be a chosen one. That's just human.
You've got an explanation for everything, haven't you?
Psychology is the modern theology.
Catch you later.
Take care.
It'd be a waste to throw that away. Besides, Dr. Winterbottom would start wondering why her trash can lights up at night. Ugh, my head's still pounding. Lucky that Murray found me in the woods yesterday. I probably would have frozen otherwise. I should get this medication as soon as possible. And I could ask the inspector whether Murray's finally corrected his statement. And I've got an appointment with the priest, too. It can't be that difficult to find my father's grave. Oh, and I should find that ominous place in the woods. Enjoy it, Darren. It's gonna be a long day. That's the prescription from Dr. Winterbottom. It says in scribble that I can hardly decipher. Daily 1 times halo paradox, or something like that. Evenings. I guess it makes you sleepy. Hey, Matt. So, when you finally gonna get gone with your fun fair?
So, how are we then, eh? Still possessed by the devil?
I wouldn't joke about it if I were you.
That's supposed to be a threat.
Let's say more, well-meant recommendation.
You really have got a few screws loose.
So, what exactly did go wrong when you were born?
Not half as much as when you were born, Mr. Twisted Firestarter.
Have fun.
Oi, arsehole! When you miss me, paint a heart on the wall.
Will do. In your blood. Closed. Strange. The shop was still open this time yesterday. Hey, Zach.
What do you want now?
Did I say something wrong?
No, I'm just a bit busy. The inspector hasn't been here all morning, and I have to do everything myself.
Where's the inspector?
Cafe, I think.
Or maybe you can help me. Has Murray been here about his statement?
Murray? Yes, he was here. Wanted to discuss something urgently with the inspector.
Do you know what it was about?
I can't tell you that.
Abaya's shop is closed. Is today some kind of holiday that I don't know about?
No?
By the way, I was in the woods last night and I got chased by some black dogs into a shack. I got locked in, but I managed to escape using a chainsaw. Then I fell unconscious.
You just can't help yourself, am I right? And why are you telling me this?
You look so bored. Spooner said you live in Warmhill.
It's not really worth a visit, unless you want to go to confession or to the graveyard.
I'm sure you must have heard of the White Lady.
She's spooked around the woods for centuries. Why do you ask? Is she a relative of yours too?
Goodbye, Constable. How you doing?
Wonderfully. What can I do for you, sir?
Has the inspector been here yet today?
No, sir. I haven't seen him all day. I've just got here.
And Denise?
Denise has also disappeared.
Both of them not there, huh?
No.
I'd better be going.
Please, do us the honor again soon, sir.
Hey, Matt, tell me.
Ever donated a pint of blood through your nose?
Hello, doctor? Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course. Come on in.
Doctor,
How can I help you?
there's a problem with my medication.
You don't like the taste? That's normal. Swallow them with orange juice instead of water.
No, it's not that. The shop's closed, and it doesn't look like a buyer is there.
Oh, I forgot completely. Abaya's always in Ipswich on Tuesdays. She does a self-defense course there.
I would have thought a refereeing course would be more her thing. And how do I get my medication now?
Well, if the postman has already been, he's probably left the deliveries in the barrel next to the door.
Barrel next to the door. With medication. What if someone steals it?
Right next to the police station. I don't think so.
Here's to village life. Catch you later.
Take care.
I need to use the prescription to collect my meds, not throw it away. Just look at that. That's Abaya's mailbox. And there's the post from today. The package is from a tea supplier. It says here that the customer is Gordon's Palace. Either the postman's quite lazy, or he doesn't like Murray. Maybe I should take the package to him. I'll be dropping by the hotel sooner or later. What else is there? That must be mine. The sender's a drug company. I'll leave the prescription in the barrel, so Abaya knows that I picked up my medication myself. The medication that Dr. Winterbottom prescribed for me. Halo Paradox, for the treatment of acute psychosis with delusion, hallucinations, or cognitive disorders. Oh, great. She's declared me officially crazy. This shack is even creepy during the day. Dragging tracks. Apparently, this is where Murray rescued me, but I can't remember a thing. Fortunately, the shack is built on stilts. Otherwise, I'd probably still be trapped inside. Just don't touch, or everything will collapse. A rain butt. Must always be full around here. These are provisions for the winter, although I can't imagine that Ralph did this. Perhaps it used to be a lumberjack's cabin. Now it's Ralph's new hideout. Definitely better than the corrugated iron shed at the academy. I'm not at all interested in going back into that creepy shack. Anonymous gravestones. 5 of them bear the same date. August 1981. As long as I don't know who might be buried here, there's not much point in looking for more clues. It's called organic waste here. On the other side of the wall, the graveyard. Even too stony for a rock garden. The priest lives here. Yes, even a Catholic priest is sometimes just human. Why hasn't he got a toilet in his house like everyone else? Nice greenhouse filled with all sorts of flowers. The priest seems to have green fingers. At least in the house. A long pair of lopping shears. I think I'll borrow them. Hello? No one there. Mr. Gravedigger?
Yes, lad.
The graves by the wall, right at the back, they look different to the rest. Why's that?
That's where the poor devils who have no money for a real funeral are buried. And the lost souls, the murderers and suicides.
Aha. And they're just thrown in a hole and buried?
Well, they do get a coffin, but the corpse is put in it the wrong way round. Those who commit suicide, I mean.
Why?
It's supposed to stop the dead from finding their way out of the grave. They used to chop their heads off and put them between their legs to stop them running around. Pure superstition. As if you could stop the undead like that.
Have you ever heard about the White Lady in the woods?
Yes, I've heard about it, but I've never seen her. Apparently only those of pure heart can see her. That can't be true, though, because no one here in the village has seen her, not even the priest.
What does that tell us about the people of Willow Creek?
Nonsense. There's nothing wrong with the people here. It's that murderous clan in the castle who've been spreading fear and terror for centuries. It's a pity you didn't do your job right, boy. The castle should have burned down to its foundations. Then there'd finally be some peace around here.
It wasn't me. The church is closed. Didn't the priest say he'd be back again today?
He wanted to sit off after breakfast. Call back again later.
I'd better be going.
Keep your eyes peeled, lad.
The shed is full to the roof with firewood. Looks like it's gonna be a long, cold winter. A pile of firewood, I assume. Almost everyone here still heats with wood. It's covered by an old door, which protects it from the rain. The door even has a round glass window in it. Should I happen to need a door with a glass window in it someday, I'll know where to find one. The church is closed. Then I've got enough time to search in the woods for that place I've got in my memory. And I could take Murray's package into the hotel, as long as the priest isn't there. What was that? Flashback? Am I having them in the mornings now? What does this little man in my subconscious want to tell me? I better pop one of those pills. Something about this place reminds me of my hypnotized dream this morning. No. I don't feel like getting barbed wire wrapped around my legs. Lopping shears, an essential in every toolbox. That's it. It's easy to carry the barbed wire away with the shears. I remember this house. I used to play with Angelina here when I was a kid. Could it be that Joyce was right? Looks like no one's lived here for decades, apart from the rats, of course. The glass is only broken at the bottom. Either someone wanted to climb in but then didn't, or the guy who smashed it had really short arms. Goa? Inviting. I doubt that's the original lettering. I can see mounts for 2 more letters. Judging by the security measures at the gate, whoever lives here doesn't like visitors. I don't want to annoy them. I don't think the place in my hypnosis was so near to the house. There's nothing there but scrub. Nothing. No hole in the ground. Wait a minute. There's something there. A luminous sticker. Just like the one I found in the hut in the woods. Perhaps Ralph lost it here. Or found it. Does he live here now? Perhaps Ralph's looking for a new place to live. Maybe the hut in the woods wasn't lonely enough for him. I'll knock. Nothing. There doesn't seem to be anyone home. Nothing. What a rust bucket. But it suits the house. What the? It's just a blanket. Keep calm, Darren. Just an old rusty car. I can't go yet. I want to at least find the place for my dream. A garbage can with a lock on it. Could be protection against wild animals. Or prying eyes. The lock is too strong. I'd be better off looking for the key. The hole isn't here. I don't think searching around here anymore will help. If the hole in the woods that Angelina fell in as a child was somewhere around here, it's long since disappeared. Find an anchor in reality? What garbage.
Yes?
Hello, Doctor? Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course. Come on in.
Doctor,
How can I help you?
I think I found the place in the woods, but no hole anywhere. Just an abandoned house.
Ah, very good. That must be Dr. Herman's old house. Have I told you about him? He was also a victim of... back then. Since then, the house has been empty. No one wants to live there of their own free will. Has it helped you at all? I mean, with your memories?
No.
Have you made a thorough search?
Doc, it's November. It's cold, the ground is frozen. It's in the middle of the woods in a plot of land that's enclosed by barbed wire.
All right, then. We'll concentrate on it again in the next session.
Do Do you know Ralph?
Ralph? No. Who's that?
Oh, not so important. Catch you later.
Take care.
A very good day to you, Inspector.
What's up with you?
You know someone here in the village? A guy by the name of Ralph?
Why am I not surprised that you, of all people, are asking me about a local loon pot?
So you do know him.
He nicks the odd apple from a buyer and lives somewhere in the woods. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Bye. Hello? There's a rundown house on the road that goes to the lighthouse. Can you tell me anything about it?
A pathologist used to live there, I think. He was also murdered there. But wild horses wouldn't drag me there.
Did you know that there are huge black dogs here in the woods who attack unsuspecting wanderers?
Yes, they're one of Murray's tourist attractions.
Really?
Yeah, sure. 2 fat mongrel St. Bernards. Bobby is in one of the costumes and Mrs. Puffed in the other.
Ha ha. Maybe I'll see you later. Weird. Murray isn't there. Madame Fortuna's business card. You'll see your future with a phone number on it. Hello, Madame Fortuna.
Adrian, I knew you would call again.
Who else could it be?
Pick a card.
Stop.
I've drawn the chariot.
Oh, you were stuck in the snow?
Snow? No, your card, Adrian. You're looking for the right way. You will have to make a decision. And I see death.
Again.
Someone will shoot out your light.
How am I supposed to understand that?
You don't need to understand, Adrian, but you can put up a fight.
How can I put up a fight?
Stay away from shootings.
Yeah. Thanks. What a load of crap. I've had enough of my future for today. Maybe I'll call her again tomorrow. A packet of tea from Murray. At least that's what's written on Murray? Doesn't seem to be there. I'll put the package on his desk. Hello? What's this? How come Murray's involved with the law? I can't believe it. It's a receipt for my bail. Signed by the judge, paid by Murray. What the hell is this guy up to?
What are you doing here, Mr. Michaels?
Actually, I just wanted to be nice and brought you your package from the village. But then I found this. I'd like some answers. What are you up to, Murray?
You know, Mr. Michaels, it's very simple. I believe in your innocence, and I'm sure you don't deserve to be in jail.
Yeah, sure. A miser like you risks 5,000 pounds in order to help a complete stranger. Nonsense. What's going on? Tell me.
I'd suggest you just be happy you're free, and we don't talk about it anymore.
Oh no, you're not getting away from me that easily. I want to know what you're up to, Murray. I want to hear it in your own words. Now!
Mr. Michaels, you know how it is. When something terrible happens somewhere, it attracts the people. But not forever. People these days are quickly bored and want to see something new. And honestly, it's been 3 weeks since you
I don't
last
believe
killed.
it. You paid the bail in hope that I'd start to murder people? Just so your damn hotel is fully booked?
Don't get so upset, Mr. Michaels.
You're totally insane. Screw you.
You should be thankful, Mr. Michaels. No one else would have put up your bail. No one else. You have no friends in Willow Creek. You're a lonely maniac, an arsonist, a criminal. You have no one but me, and you should be damn thankful.
Let room service know I'm checking out. I don't get it. I've got nothing to say to that guy. I'm finished with Murray. I don't want to go in there again. The confession box is empty. Ah, that has to be the priest. Excuse me, Reverend.
Reverend is too much of an honor, my son. I'm Father Frederick.
I see. Father, I'm Darren Michaels. You might know me already from the papers.
I do. I assume you come to confess.
No, actually I haven't. I don't have anything to confess yet.
What can I do for you then?
Can you tell me something about the graveyard?
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? You can really sense the centuries past when you're in it. According to the records, some of the graves are over 800 years old.
Probably all Gordons.
The Gordons have had their own crypt since 1512. The academy was burned down and, well, space was needed for the many dead, and that's why the graveyard was rearranged.
Can you tell me where Samuel Gordon is buried?
I'm sorry, no.
Those anonymous graves in the graveyard. Doesn't anyone know who's buried under them?
No one, except the relatives.
It would seem you've been in charge here for a long time.
What are 40 years compared to eternity?
Seems the gravedigger has also been working here for an eternity.
Mark? Oh, he does his job well. Yes, he really feels all that digging in his bones. He's been looking for an apprentice for years, but no one seems to be interested. Are you educated in a profession?
I'm a physics student.
Ah, well, let's talk about something else.
The church here was built by Marcus Gordon, right?
The good Marcus, yes. It was the year 1213 when Marcus Gordon struck down his brother Mordred in a duel.
Marcus killed Mordred? Why?
A brotherly feud which had been smouldering for some time. Marcus embodied good, Mordred evil, according to the legend. Marcus beat Mordred. Good prevailed.
And what's this got to do with the Gordon curse? It originated in this period, right?
Yes, as far as I know. Mordred uttered the curse shortly before he drew his last breath. He put a curse on Marcus and all following generations. But that will soon be over. Lady Victoria is the last of the Gordons. The family line ends with her. Mercifully, one would be forgiven to say, as the clan has terrorized this whole region with its dreadful family history. But I'm sure you already know all of this. Seems like you are well informed.
Let's put it this way. I've been forced against my will to look at the curse in a bit more detail.
What do you mean by that?
My real name is Adrian Gordon. I belong to that clan there in the castle.
Oh, that's, I'd say, a surprise. Adrian Gordon. I thought he died as a 13-year-old. Didn't he fall down the castle staircase?
That's part of the dreadful family history that you were talking about before. But as you can see, I'm still alive.
Risen again from the dead. My congratulations and God's blessing, my son. And what is your relationship to the Gordons, if I may ask?
Perhaps you can remember Samuel Gordon?
Oh, yes, Samuel. He came to confession shortly before he... well, you know. Yes, I remember him.
He was my father.
That explains quite a lot.
Can you tell me where Samuel Gordon is buried?
I'm afraid I can't tell you in which grave he's buried, but I can understand that you'd like to know.
Is there any kind of plan of who is buried where?
Not for the anonymous graves. But wait, I think I know how I can help you.
Thank you, Father. We were talking about Marcus and Mordred.
Yes, that's right. Marcus struck down his brother Mordred in a duel in the year 1213. After that, in order to atone for his actions, he had this church built here on pagan ground. A few years later, he also built the academy, also on pagan ground. It was to be used to house the Gordon Chronicles, so the curse could be researched by academics. But the academy was completely burned to the ground in 1512. Most of the chronicles were destroyed. Everything that could be recovered was brought here, to the church.
Right, but all of these stories always begin with Marcus killing his brother. Does no one know the cause of the dispute?
Well, there are various theories. Some say that Mordred was possessed by the devil. I also read somewhere that they were fighting over a woman, which is pretty much the same thing, right? Basically, it's about the fact that Marcus Gordon, the more religious and stable brother, won. Mordred is depicted as a godless sinner who's burning in hell to this day.
Do you know if the brothers were born here?
Probably not. Both were tireless crusaders in the name of the church. But why they built a castle here in Willow Creek can only be speculated on. Perhaps they freed the land of non-believers and the castle used to be a kind of keep in order to hold the area. Or they were gifted the land by the church as a reward for their support in the Crusades.
Thank you, Father. Thanks for the help.
May the Lord be with you.
The lists of the names of all those who were buried here in August 1981. There are 5 names left. Henry Stanton, Dr. Heinz Herman, Dr. Robert Gordon, James, and Samuel Gordon. Aha, William Gordon, my great-grandfather. One of those who died in 1981. So, he can't have been buried anonymously. Good, and let's see who's buried here. Funerals in August 1981. William Gordon, Dr. Heinz Herman, Victor Sebastian Valley, Henry Stanton, Dr. Robert Gordon, James, Samuel Gordon. There are 5 graves, but 7 names on the list. Too many. I can rule out little Vic. He was buried in the Valley family grave. Anyway, he didn't commit suicide. My father did that. William's grave is back there. I've already seen it. So that means that Dr. Herman, Henry, Robert, James, and my father are buried here. Now I just need to find out which gravestone belongs to whom. A dream catcher. I've seen one of those before somewhere. There's some flowers on it. Or what's left of them anyways. And a card. All a mother's love for your soul, all her contempt for your deeds. As far as I know, Samuel only had Victoria, his grandmother. This can't be his grave. A neglected grave. The most pathetic and saddest of them all. It could be my father's. A neglected grave, but still with a quote from the Bible. Mihi enim viver Christus est a mori lucrum. What the hell does that mean? Maybe, rot in hell, you sinner. Christ didn't pee on the cross for you. Or something like that. Here it says, Ichi agnas dia qui tolit peccatum mundi. A quote from the Bible and some rotting flowers. At least someone's been looking after the grave. Oh, but no more clues. The clues on the gravestones don't help me. Perhaps I can ask someone about it. Something is still not right with the allocation. Someone must be able to tell me about the peculiarities of the people buried here. Perhaps the priest? Hello, Father.
Welcome back, Adrian.
Did you know Robert Gordon?
Oh, yes, Robert. Victoria's first son. He was manager of the sanatorium, caused Victoria lots of distress. She was so disappointed in him when she heard about what he'd done in the sanatorium. He managed to keep it all secret during his lifetime.
Did you know Dr. Herman?
Yes. He worked in the mortuary. Was a very busy pathologist and a friend of the Gordons. He was in league with the manager of the sanatorium, Robert Gordon, hence the closeness to the Gordons. They both died a violent death.
They were murdered. And why were they buried anonymously?
After their death, they found out unpleasant things about them.
What kind of things?
Dreadful experiments on innocent souls, their patients. I don't really want to talk about it. They certainly never came to confession. Neither Herman nor Robert Gordon. They died as sinners and as such forfeited their right to receive the last rites.
Last rites? What's that for again? And why can a murderer get them, but not someone who commits suicide?
The last rites wash you clean of your sins and prevent your soul from having to burn in hell. Only those who repent their sins can receive it, though. If a dying murderer repents his actions, then he can receive the last rites. Someone who commits suicide cannot, and therefore lands in hell.
How simple life can be sometimes. How come William Gordon isn't in the family crypt?
He committed suicide, and actually belonged on the northern wall. But Lady Victoria convinced me that the circumstances of William's death couldn't be clarified completely. Samuel also doubted that William committed suicide. The way that William fell from the tower window suggested that he was pushed rather than jumped himself. But as I said, that couldn't be clarified. So this burial place was a compromise between what Lady Victoria wanted for William and my duty as a parish priest.
Who is this James on the list? Doesn't he have a surname?
Yes, well, James. He was William Gordon's illegitimate son. He hanged himself after years of being experimented on in the sanatorium. It's thought that he is the one who murdered Robert Gordon.
What kind of family have I been born into? Who was Henry Stanton?
Henry. The name is familiar, but I can't remember exactly. He definitely wasn't from around here. I'm sorry. I don't know anymore.
Who might know more then?
Ask Mark. He's in the village more often than I am.
Does the saying Ecce Agnus Dea qui tollit peccatum mundi mean anything to you?
Of course. It's a quotation from the Gospel of John. John the Baptist was seen by many as the Messiah, but he said, "I am not the Messiah. He is the one who comes after me." The next day, John saw Jesus coming toward him and said, Ecce agnus Dei qui tollit peccatum mundi. Behold, the Lamb of God that taketh away the sin of the world. This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me has surpassed me because he was before me. John 1:15-29. The sinless who took away the sin of the world. Praise the Lord, he sacrificed his Son to lighten our hearts. Jesus Christ, our Savior, is the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. He is the fulfillment of all sacrifice and the end of all sacrifice.
Amen. What does mihi enim viver Christus est a mori lucrum mean?
For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. Paul said that. But remember, my son, he was referring directly to himself. It doesn't mean that death in general is gain. Not at all, for heaven's sake. To understand this phrase correctly, you need to understand Paul's situation in detail. He was imprisoned and...
Thank you. I've heard about that. Paul in prison, nasty stuff. But I've got to get going. Thanks for the help.
May the Lord be with you.
Mr. Gravedigger?
Yes, lad.
People don't bring flowers here very often, do they?
You mean at the back?
Yes, for the anonymous graves.
It's surprising that anyone puts flowers on those graves at all. Having said that, nothing to do with the gardens really surprises me anymore.
So there were gardens here?
Yes, it was Lady Victoria and her butler a few days before the fire.
I've heard that you knew Henry Stanton well.
Henry Stanton? Which Stanton? Oh, Henry, the old drunk. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I knew him. He was usually sitting in the pub when I went for my after-work beer.
Did he say anything?
Well, he wasn't exactly one for words. He was one for beer, though. He drank like a fish. Used to hang around with Tom, I think. They did a bit of business. I don't know what exactly. Dodgy business, like. He was the castle gardener, but not for long. Perhaps a year. Then he drowned in a well. Apparently that Samuel had something to do with it. But if you ask me, Henry just fell in there drunk.
Do you know what he did beforehand? Or where he came from?
No idea. He didn't come from around here. He didn't have any family either, and I never saw him with a woman. He was a lone wolf. Ask Tom. Perhaps he can tell you more.
Good idea. About as good as using a hairdryer in the bath. I'd better be going.
Keep your eyes peeled, lad.
A neglected grave. The most pathetic and saddest of them all. It could be my father's. There's some flowers on it. Or what's left of them anyways. And a card. All a mother's love for your soul, all her contempt for your deeds. As far as I know, Samuel only had Victoria, his grandmother. This can't be his grave. A neglected grave, but still with a quote from the Bible. Mihi enim viver Christus est a mori lucrum. What the hell does that mean? Maybe, rotten hell, you sinner. Christ didn't pee on the cross for you. Or something like that. A dream catcher. I've seen one of those before somewhere. The clues on the gravestones don't help me. Perhaps I can ask someone about it.
Yes?
Hello, Doctor? Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course. Come on in.
Doctor,
How can I help you?
you said you knew Dr. Herman?
Yes, he was a very extraordinary man. We met each other when we were students. It was a great time. But I quickly realized that pathology wasn't really for me. Unlike Heinz, I was always much more interested in the living.
You studied pathology?
Amongst other things, yes. Are you surprised?
Not really, no. You must have heard of the famous Gordon brothers, Marcus and Mordred.
Marcus and Mordred? No, not that I would know.
I mean the ones who built the castle, Blackmere Castle, 800 years ago.
Oh, right, them. No. What do they say about them? Have you seen them, Adrian? What did they tell you?
You really do think I'm crazy, right?
No. I meant in your dreams. In your dreams.
Catch you later.
Take care.
A dream catcher. I've seen one of those before somewhere. Here it says, Ichi Agnes Dia Ki Tolit Pekatum Mundi. A quote from the Bible, some rotting flowers. At least someone's been looking after the grave. No more clues. That must be it. My father's grave. So the first clue must be here. I can't find anything. Either there's no clue here, or this isn't the right place. Nothing. Maybe someone was just wanting to take the mickey. Or the message wasn't meant for me at all. It's futile to search any longer. It's just a gravestone with a quote from the Bible. Not a single damn clue. Wait a second. The quote from the Bible. Maybe that's the clue. I must ask the priest about it. It may mean something. Hello, Father.
Adrian, welcome to my church.
I think I found my father's grave.
I assume you now feel relieved.
Not really. The phrase Ecce Agnes Dea, etc., it's written on my father's grave. Is there anywhere else I can find it?
Of course. In every Bible.
And out there, near the church, maybe?
Yes, we have it here in the church. Just have a look around.
The Lamb of God, you said?
That's right. John 1, verse 29.
Thanks for the help.
May the Lord be with you.
The quotation on my father's gravestone is here. The Lamb of God. That's what the priest thought. Aha, a secret compartment. I wonder who made that, and why. The plot thickens. If you don't want to suffer the same fate as your father, just keep quiet about everything that happens to you. No one must know of the secret that lies at the end of your path. But you're only at the beginning, and you'd be well to prove your innocence first. If you fulfill all the tasks that I set you, no one will doubt your innocence anymore. In this first task, you must look out for people who need help. Fulfill tasks? What's that all about? Must be another one of Murray's sick ideas. Huh. Well, I'll play along. Maybe I can piss on his parade some. The correct translation is, "See the Lamb of God that..." Ugh, I've forgotten the rest again. The guy seems to be having a problem with his car. Maybe I can help him out. I've seen that car somewhere before.
Hey,
Yes?
would you help me?
Is there something wrong with your car?
No, I'm freezing my balls off here for fun. Bollocks. Sod it, the car won't start. You're a car mechanic, are you?
No.
I didn't think so. You look more the theoretical type, am I right?
Kind of. I studied physics for 4 terms.
Well, that's better than sociology. Can you have a quick look at it? I'm stuffed here.
Well, to be honest, I'm not very practical. But I could get some help from the village if you want. I'm headed there anyway.
Okay. Drop into the pub, tell Tom what's happened. Tell him Phil's banger is knackered again and he's bound to know what's wrong with it.
Tom? And what if he's not there?
Are you having a laugh? Of course he'll be there.
It could take me a while, though. Maybe I'll have a go. Nothing to lose, huh?
Be my guest. Over to you.
Are you from Willow Creek?
How did you know that?
Well, 'cause you know Tom.
No, I'm not from around here. So, have you found out what's up with it yet?
How old is this car? It's more rust than engine.
God knows. It's always started okay before, though.
My guess is that it was one of Henry Ford's prototypes.
Ha ha.
How is Ralph?
Ralph? I don't know him.
Oh, I thought you guys hung out together quite a bit.
Why's that?
Well, I thought he hung around the old house, because I saw your car parked there this morning. Yeah, I might have seen him. It's a filthy dive, but probably much better than no roof over your head. Ah, yes, that must be it. A wire's come off here. Jesus, what the hell is that? Help! Can anyone hear me? Help!
Just shut your mush in there, will you?
Hey, what's going on? Are you crazy? Let me out, now!
So you can go and graft to the fuzz? Forget it.
What are you up to? Help!
Oh, shut it. No one can hear you. You're staying in there till I decide what to do with you.
Hey, maybe we can talk this over. Look, I promise I won't breathe a word.
Oh, yeah. That's what they all say. Look, make yourself comfortable. That could be your life.
No, you can't do this!
You have no idea what I am capable of. Have fun. I got things to do now.
Wait! Hey! god. If I can't find a way out of here fast, that maniac is gonna kill me. For Christ's sake, Mordred, you could at least help me out for once. There's a wall here. Metal. A solid metal wall. Oh, there's no way I can break that down. I'm surrounded by cold metal walls, like a coffin. The walls are welded together all over. I need a blowtorch to get out of here. I can make out a few holes, but not much else. It looks like a kind of door. Something's blocking the door from outside. I can't open it. The map is completely useless here. It's much too dark here. I don't want light. I want to get out of here. The top is metal. But it doesn't seem to be that thick. It's really rusty. The whole thing's fallen apart. It's totally rusted through. I can get out this way. Hell, there's something here. It's moving back and forth. Oh my god. I think I know where I am. It must be some kind of cold room where they keep dead bodies. Huh. There's a kind of stretcher up there that you can pull out. If this goddamn stretcher wasn't so smooth, maybe I could apply enough force to ram it through the door. I just can't get a good hold on anything here. Why haven't these goddamn things got anything you can grab onto? A corkscrew. I found it in the hut in the woods. Still works. Okay, I'll just fix up my own handle. Whoa. Oh, yuck. Gross. What kind of stench is that? I gotta get out of here fast. Okay, I've really gotta get behind it. At last. I'm out of here. I don't see a significant improvement in my situation here. It's much too dark here. I can hardly make out anything on the map. I can hardly make anything out. I should switch the light on first. The light switch should be somewhere around here. That's not it. That was easy. What the hell did I press before? Oh, it looks like an intercom system. But it doesn't seem to be working. Nothing. It really looks like it's broken. Weird. No door handle. Just a keyhole. I won't bother trying it. I heard Phil locking it. Medical books. Secrets of the human brain. Composition and function of the central nervous system. I don't think Phil is using this to cram for the brain surgery exam. A working Bunsen burner. I don't want to waste all the gas. A small bottle of smelling salts? None left. Pity. Plain, untipped cigarettes. If I never get out of here, then at least I can become a smoker. Plain cigarettes. Tobacco all dry and fallen out. If I lit one up, it would burn right down before I could even have a drag. I'm not a smoker, and I want to stay that way. Practical Applications of Chemistry. Quite a nice tome. It could prove to be a handy reference book. A marvelous tool. So small, and yet it slices through flesh like butter. A meat cleaver, like you used to see in a butcher's shop. A hideous butcher. These metal boxes are normally used as cash boxes. This one has a combination lock. I can't spend ages trying it out. It would take too long to find the right combination. I wouldn't know where to start. It would take way too long. The box is roughly 30 centimeters wide, 20 deep, and 10 high, but that doesn't help me much. Files. Or to be more exact, medical records. How have they got lost in here? James Gordon. He was a patient in the old sanatorium. So are the medical records from there? There are death certificates in here. Quite a few. Issued by Dr. Heinz Herman for James Gordon. And for different causes of death. Heart attack, suicide, all undated. Ralph Thompson, date of birth March 3rd, 1960. Diagnosis, delusional schizophrenia, therapy-resistant depression with suicidal tendency. Medication level 4, combination shock therapy, electroconvulsive shock therapy, and insulin shock therapy. Poor Ralph. No wonder he's crazy. And here's Ralph's death certificate, issued by Dr. Herman. Death from neck dislocation following self-strangulation, and it's dated September 1st, 1981. So Ralph's death had already been planned. Oh, the bastards. If they hadn't gone out of business in August 81, Ralph would be dead now. Incredible. Otherwise, pretty uninteresting. None of these people mean anything to me. Cold compartments like you see in a morgue. It could have been one once. Luckily, these things don't work anymore, or I'd probably have frozen to death. You would normally cut up dead bodies on a table like this. Normally. Barbecue tongs with blood on them? The blood seems fairly recent. Yuck. I really don't want to know what it is. It stinks like hell. Kitchen towels. Best quality. Surprise, surprise, still unused. Medical equipment you see in hospitals. Oh, and pathology labs. Most of them are rusted and unusable. A chair with arm and leg restraints. That could have come from an old sanatorium. An old skeleton. That's not very useful. What can I do with it? Whoops, the skull looks a bit wobbly. Yep, it's loose. so off with it. 2 heads are better than none at all. It gives pulling my leg a whole new meaning. A human skull. A replica, probably. Something's rattling around in there. Either his brain has dried up, or someone has hidden something in the skull. A reel of film. An ancient film projector. I'd be amazed if it still worked. If I don't put the film in, it's as good as any other light. An old yellowed screen. Lots of film and photography equipment. Well, this looks like an attachment for a camera. What's this? Different colored transparencies in a frame. You can pull them in and out. I think it's a colored filter for cameras. A film reel with a very short film on it. Cut out of another one, I guess. Lucky I always had to load the films in school. It's not as easy as you might think. I should pull the screen down first. So let's have a look and see what's on this film. There's something strange about this film. I get the feeling there's something missing. Different colored gels in a frame. You can pull them in and out. I think it's a color filter for a camera. I fixed the color filter to the front of the projector, so I can now use the different color gels to watch the film in bright colors. I'll have another look at the film. This film is so incredibly lame that there's gotta be a good reason for hiding it in the skull. I'll have another look at the film. One frame in the film is unlike the others, so there must be a clue hidden in there. I'll have another look at the film. 2180. A 4-digit combination. That Phil is one sly mother. Not a bad idea. Hiding a combination in a film that can also only be seen using a special color filter. If the numbers on the film are the combination for this box, then... an envelope. Let's see. As I said already, I can't do anything with the photo. It looks like the person concerned has left the village and is therefore of no further interest to me. You've already gotten too much money out of me for the pictures of the fire, so that's it now. I have a new job for you. As far as I know, the fire fiend will be released sometime next week. He's a ticking time bomb that could blow up again at any time. Perhaps we could encourage him a little. Watch him, don't let him out of your sight. I want you to write down everything he does. Further instructions to follow. M. That can only be Murray. That, deserves the worst. There are gonna be some serious consequences. I've been through some horrible things. This is really going too far. If you don't want to suffer... Oh, great. This stupid note has brought me right into the cellar of a psycho. Look out for people who need help. Are you kidding? A cassette player, but I don't know if it works or not. There's no plug on the end of the cable. It's just hanging all limp. A scalpel, as small as it is effective and precise, reduced to pure functionality. What a cool invention. Great, now I've got a few wires. Wires from a mains cable. They won't open any locks. If I can repair the photocopier, the intercom will be child's play. There you go. I told you so. Now, in theory, I can lure Phil down here. What was that? Is there someone else in the cold compartments? Huh. I could use this to call Phil, but I ought to have a plan of what I'll do with him if he actually appears down here. First, I want to know where that snoring came from. I can't get at it. This drawer's in the way. I know it's definitely not a good idea to have a look inside. It stinks like hell. But I'd love to know if there's anyone or anything moldering in there. Oh, I could have passed on that one. And to think I was just climbing on this thing. No, there's a rotting corpse in there. I don't want to see that again. The compartment is padlocked, too. There are air holes here, like in my compartment. Damn! Jeez, there's someone in there. I can hear breathing. Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Can you hear me? Whoever's in there must be in a deep sleep. There's no way of waking them up. A heavy padlock. There's no way I'll get that open without the right key. I'll have to file away here for hours to get that open. And time's not on my side. It fits almost as nicely in the hand as a baseball bat. So far, so good. So I've got something to take Phil out with, and he won't see me if I hide behind the door. I still need something to distract him when he comes in. Okay, I can try it now. Damn, I didn't connect the wires up right, but that should... Oh, I can hear footsteps.
What's all this? Turn that light off!
Oh, I can hear footsteps.
What's all this? Turn that light off!
He's been knocked out. I'd better take care of this, just in case. A sawed-off shotgun, ideal for firing blind. This gun would blast a cow to pieces at 10 meters. Nah, he doesn't deserve that. I don't need a photo of Phil, and I don't want one either. That's much too dangerous. Phil's bunch of keys. If I find a locked door in his house, I can open it with one of these. This key fits. Oh no! It's Ralph! Oh my god, what has Phil done to him? His face, his upper body, covered in cuts, and his entire body. Dry blood everywhere. The disgusting bastard Phil, he's gonna pay for this. Ralph? Ralph! It's useless. I don't think Ralph can hear me. It looks like he's been drugged. I gotta try to wake him up. Phil has drugged him with something. A ragdoll called Mr. Bubby, Ralph's best friend. If Ralph isn't awake, it seems silly to give him his puppet. An empty bottle of smelling salts. It looks like they need a lot of these to bring people around. Good idea, but the bottle is empty. I sure won't be bringing Ralph around with that. No thanks. The vision in the prison cell still turns my stomach. Huh. No wonder Phil's gone soft in the head. Seems to rain in here. Cracked. No wonder, with a face like Phil's. There's no way up there. Even though they look pretty cool, I don't know why I would need some deer antlers right now. All kinds of trash. There are even some video cassettes still in their original packaging. A pile of junk. Old radios, wireless equipment, hard disks, and God knows what else. If ever I need anything like that, I'll know where to come. An ad for telephone sex hotlines. This Phil is a sleazy bastard. Phil's porno TV chair. There's no way I'm touching that. I'll turn off this crap. The TV's off, but several video recorders are connected up to it underneath. Weird fixing for a cable. Looks like a giant horseshoe. Phil seems to be a real nerd. There are cables and electronic gadgets all over the place. Hey, wait a minute. This cable goes from the PC under the cupboard. I wonder what that's for. Drawers full of electronic junk. A metal flap in a wooden cupboard. That's weird. I bet Phil's hiding something important in here. But I can come back to that later. I'll go to the cellar first. Phil doesn't seem to have touched the display case. No wonder. The only things in here are books and a glass flask. They're mainly used in chemistry. A chemistry book dated 1972. It could still be useful. Let's see. Maybe I can find some info on the compound. Okay, what does it say? Deer antlers ground to make ammonium powder. Heat, blah blah blah, crystallizes to form what are known as smelling salts. That shouldn't be too difficult. I have the most important ingredient for my smelling salts. An empty plastic bottle. Something tells me I'm gonna need it. Great idea. I stay here playing computer games until Phil comes to and proceeds to knock me out cold. No, I should first take care of things in the cellar. No, not yet. I've definitely overlooked something. This could be the only chance I have of finding out more about these guys. But I gotta hurry. He won't stay unconscious forever. I have some unfinished business in the cellar. A piece of antler. No, it's not gonna go in one piece. Sorry, Bambi, but it definitely won't hurt you anymore. I now have the ammonium powder. Don't sneeze now. An empty plastic bottle. It once contained still water. I'll have to heat that up later. The plastic would melt immediately. A classic glass flask from the legacy of Dr. Heinz Corpse Desecrator Herman. Ugh, it smells a little like dead cow, but it's not really overpowering. Gets right into your lungs. I'll fill up the smelling salts bottle. At least now I can wake Ralph up. I'll leave the book here. I've filled it with smelling salts. Ugh, it smells gross. Like dead, wet cow. At least, how I imagine a dead, wet cow would smell. I'm not ready to die.
What? Where? Ah! This isn't Ralph's house! This isn't Ralph's house! Go away! Go away!
Ralph,
Leave
it's okay.
Ralph alone!
It's okay! Ralph!
Mr. Bobby! Where are you? Mr. Bobby!
Ralph, it's all right. Shh! Ralph, it's me, Darren. It's okay. Ralph is awake, but totally freaked out. His eyes are as round as saucers, and his whole body is shaking. Here, look. It's Mr. Bubby. You see? Everything's okay. Bubby. Wow. Ralph ran like the devil himself was after him. I won't see him back in a hurry. I don't think I can do anything more down here. Time to deal with Phil. I think he's slowly coming round. So then, shouldn't I lock the door from the other side? I have to take care of Phil first. To lock him up in the cellar, at least. Like he did to me. Then, I'm out of here. Just in time.
You Yankee tosser!
No. Phil's down there, and he's pretty mad.
You better get out of here while you still can. Just you wait!
A metal flap in a wooden cupboard. That's weird. I bet Phil's hiding something important in here. But how do I open it? I could use it to totally destroy the metal flap, along with everything behind it. That was obvious. I need the BIOS password. Think, Darren, think. What password could Phil have used? that wasn't it either. It must have something to do with this building. Locked. You goddamn. More weapons. A gun, a heap of ammo, and a knife. Cheap knives. The cheapest and nastiest for miles around. But a gun might come in handy. Hell, what am I doing here? Am I out of my mind? I can't go around carrying the gun, but I don't want to leave it here either. I'll have to get rid of it somewhere. I'll pocket the ammo, too. But there's more stuff here. A necklace. Oh, it looks valuable. Stolen, more than likely. I'll take it as compensation for all the crap I've suffered here. Phil will just have to get over it. That is a mighty fine and certainly valuable item. Far too good for Phil. Phil's gun. It's black and you can use it to kill people. It says ammunition on it. 9mm. I'm guessing that's for feeding the gun. Wrong caliber. Well, it's the right caliber, but I don't want to run around with a loaded gun. I'd rather get rid of it, and quick. A disc. What's on it, I wonder? Cool, Space Attack. I used to play that game. I want to know what's on the PC first, then we'll look at the floppy disk. Wrong again. Maybe the correct password has something to do with this building, so there must be some clues here somewhere. It says here, if you've been stupid enough to forget your password again, it'll come back to you when you come back in again. It says Ruga here. The rest is illegible. Morgue. That was the correct password. So let's see what we can do with the PC. That looks interesting. Unlock.exe. I'll run it. 1 for cellar door. No, don't think so. 2 for storeroom. Storeroom? Yeah, I'll go for that. That came from the direction of the cupboard. Reminds me of my college days. Otherwise, there's nothing else of interest. Something clicked. I'll have a look. Huh. It was a kind of remote-controlled locking device. This appears to be Phil's treasure vault. A list of sums of money. The library taught, £200. The foreign woman, £500. The Yank, £100, £2,500, £300. I think Yank must refer to me. What's that all about? Some kind of bounty? Is that why Phil locked me up? To get money? There's an M and a tick after each sum of money, but not next to the one for the foreign woman. Betamax video cassettes. Strange format. What does it say here? Ralph, summer 1990. Are they Ralph's vacation videos? Before he went crazy? But why were they hidden away? And what's this? James, August to October 1979. And older and more recent dates. I can't figure it out. I'll just take the Ralph cassette with me. I want to know what's on it. A Betamax video cassette of Ralph. I wonder what he was doing back then. There's a Betamax recorder plugged in here. So let's see what's on the video cassette. What's that? Ralph sitting there, tied to a chair. That's here in the cellar. What are they? Oh, it's a torture video. I don't need to see anymore. I really don't want to know what's on the other videos. I don't want to see the torture video again, or take the cassette with me. I'd better put it out of commission. Phil could call for help with it. The car seems to be working again. There's a dent in the hood. My head could have done that. That would save me a lot of running around. But my driver's license is still at the police station. That's why it really wouldn't be such a great idea to cruise around Willow Creek in a stolen car. I'm suspected of murder and arson, and I'm only out on bail. I'm not gonna wander around with a gun. I should hide it somewhere. I could get rid of it in there, but the container's locked. I wonder if Phil has a key to this, too. How about that? Here it is. Ugh, just a heap of ash. No corpse. Well, not in its usual form, anyways. And there's something else there. A small cardboard tube that Phil must have thrown away recently. It actually looks quite useful. what have we here? An iron M. I guess that was originally from the writing above the front door. A cast iron M. I don't have one of them in my collection. Yep, the M definitely used to belong there. A small cardboard tube. It was probably a roll of sticky tape or wire. There's nothing else in here I would take with me. You know, I can't help feeling good holding a weapon like this in my hands. What am I saying? I should ditch this thing as quickly as possible, in a safe place. Chuck the thing away. I'll get rid of the other weapon, too. That's that job done. Now, I'll have to ask Murray a few questions. It'll stay locked for now. I don't think trudging through the swamp in the night is a good idea. No, I'd rather go there by daylight. Maybe Ralph is in his shack again. Ralph?
He isn't here.
It's me, Darren. I rescued you from the cellar. I once gave you a flute by the ruin. Do you remember?
Yes, Darren. But I broke it. I didn't mean to.
How you doing, Ralph?
Mr. Bobby has lost an eye.
How long were you locked in the cellar?
100 years.
Tell me, Ralph, have you ever come across the White Lady?
I know lots of white ladies and men. They've got overalls on. They have needles and knives. They stab with them. They're evil.
And here in the woods, are there white ladies here too?
One, yes. She runs around here looking for someone. But she won't find Mr. Bubby. I hide him.
I'll leave Ralph in peace for a bit. Night shift? Perhaps you should have a look at the abandoned house. I think there are some strange things going on there.
I see. What kind of things?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think people are tortured there.
Okay. What else would people do in an abandoned house in the woods?
Why does no one take me seriously here?
You want me to read your statement out to you again? Bloody rituals, ancient curses, a mysterious order, and a murderous twin sister.
Never mind. Forget it. Do you know the story of the Gordon brothers, Marcus and Mordred?
No, but I know the story of Tom and Bobby, and that's enough for me.
Okay. Goodbye, Constable. Still here so late?
I was just about to shut up shop. Nothing much happened today.
I can't confirm that.
Did you want anything else?
Hey, do you know Ralph?
The tennis coach from Ipswich?
Surely not. The Ralph I'm talking about is a bit mentally, well, challenged.
Oh, then perhaps you mean Mrs. Puff's husband.
No, I don't think that's him. Has he got a doll called Mr. Bubby?
What? No, you must mean Bobby.
Well, whatever. Forget it. Maybe I'll see you later. Huh? The telephone booth is locked? So what? Do people make too many calls in the night? I don't want a beer, nor am I in the mood to get my nose broken. No matter how big my problems are, if I walk through this door, they'll multiply drastically. It would seem she doesn't want to be bothered at this time of day.
Mr. Michaels, have you had a pleasant day?
Mr. Michaels? Why aren't you calling me Mr. Fire Fiend? I know you like calling me that. I also know you're having me watched. That you set a perverted gun nut onto me who has a whole load of corpses in his cellar?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Michaels. Are you not feeling well? You seem a little tense.
You will be too, very soon. Unfortunately, I found a letter that proves everything, written in your handwriting, to a certain Phil. He'll be sitting pretty in the slammer very soon if I take this to the police.
Very well, Mr. Michaels. I too can do something. As you will have already ascertained from this letter, I am in possession of some photos that are extremely damaging for you, for which I have paid a large sum of money. Do you want to know what they show?
What could they show? I'm totally innocent.
You, Mr. Michaels, are on them. You can be seen running from the burning castle. Had you not put on record that you were nowhere near the castle on the day of the fire? What would the judge have to say to that? I almost fear that would be your death sentence. And just imagine, I could even profit from it. Brave hotelier convicts arsonist. I've got you where I want you, Mr. Michael.
You won't get away with it. I'll press charges against you for blackmail.
Of course you will. A pathetic lunatic from America comes to England, kills half a dozen people, and then accuses a respectable hotelier of blackmail? Wake up! You're up to your neck in it. Do what I tell you, and you'll stay alive at least.
We'll see who's gonna stay alive, you creature!
Ah! God, that burns. I wanted to kill him. I really wanted to kill him. And I had no scruples whatsoever. There was something liberating about it. Oh, what's wrong with me? This can't be me. First these visions, and now it's becoming real. It isn't good, Adrian. It really isn't good. The medication, I should take it more regularly. Okay, calm down. Now isn't the time to lose your nerve. Murray antagonized me, and yeah, that could easily flip me out. It's perfectly normal. Nothing unusual. It can happen to anyone. And it happens in the best of families. Jeez, no. This happens a heck of a lot in my family. It's the goddamn curse or whatever. These damn pills don't help either. Or do they? Ugh. I just don't know what to do anymore. Maybe Victoria could help me. She knows all about our family and this curse. But she doesn't believe me. But can you blame her? No. I'm starting to have doubts about me. Okay, slowly now. What should I do? If the guy goes to the police now, I've had it. These photos, I must find and destroy the photos. Then he won't have anything more on me. One problem less. That may be my only chance of getting hold of the photos. I should hurry up with things here instead of wandering through the woods. I bet that thing infringes several personal rights. That doesn't seem to bother Murray at all. I bet he's got the photos somewhere in his office. Wow, that's a really ugly carpet. Probably a relic from Murray's old pawn shop. A large steel locker. If Murray has something he wants to keep safe, it's sure to be in here. No chance. This thing's locked and made of solid steel. It's also screwed into the floor, and I don't know the combination. Murray himself in oil. A real businessman. He's hung himself up in the office. Murray's baby. In oil. "1,000 tips to success, customers as a means to an end, tax savings for managers." Either an ancient brand or a fake. Probably from the time of the sanatorium, filled with nasty, poisonous stuff. Let's see. No, even worse. The thing's full of tins of skin cream. Active Lift Super Moist for the man over 40. Murray's secret anti-wrinkle stash. Boxes and boxes full of plastic knives and murderer dolls. Hundreds of plastic soul keys, I wonder if Murray miscalculated a bit there. Murray's plans for the future. I'd go for a Gordon theme park, a wild water slide with artificial blood instead of water, and you'll ride in a coffin. Murray's hotelier certificate. If that's authentic, then I really am Darren Michaels. I can't believe that Murray keeps the key for the locker here, but I'll check all the same. What have we got here? This is a user manual for the steel locker. Interesting. If you have forgotten your combination, the serial number is stamped on the rear panel. Write it down and telephone the following number: 01473/serial number plus the last 2 digits of your year of birth. An automated information desk will then tell you your combination. That's what I call service. Now I just need Murray's date of birth and the serial number. Now I just need the serial number and Murray's date of birth. Murray's date of birth will probably be on here. There it is. 1942. He's quite an old-timer. The creep. Murray was born in 1942, but I'm still missing the serial number from the steel locker. Apparently, I can find it on the back of the locker. The wall has 3 niches. There's a big steel cabinet in the middle one, and the other 2 are bookshelves. It's 3.5 meters from the corner to the place where the steel locker stands. A toolbox. It wasn't there yesterday. Is Murray doing the renovation himself? Whatever, I'll just help myself. Not too well organized. Pliers. They could come in handy later. Otherwise, just screws, nails, and fuses. Some pliers. Very important. Only a load of junk in it now. What a stroke of luck. My hotel room is on the other side of the wall, just where Murray's steel cabinet is. The steel locker is behind this wall. I just need to know where exactly. It seems pretty pointless to me to hold the M up to the wall. I'm not going to start cutting off the wallpaper like a madman, even if it would give me great joy. If I've got it right in my mind, the steel locker must be exactly behind this part of the wall. I'll remove the wallpaper. A brick wall. Looks very old and the mortar's crumbling. Right here, on the other side of the wall, is the steel locker. I can use this to scratch out the mortar from between the bricks. That should do it. That's the back wall of the steel locker. And here's the serial number. 8528-173. The service you require is not available from this device, says the woman with the nice voice on the tape. All right then, let's see if it works.
The combination is 4 right, 8 left, 15 right, 16 left, 23 right, 42 left.
It's a pleasure doing business with you. Ta-da! How about that? Various photos of different people. Denise and Spooner doing... Oh, and here's one of Matt taking a leak on the police station. Is that why he was in the slammer? I'll get rid of all this crap the next chance I get. There's something else in the envelope. Bingo! Reliable photographic evidence. And it doesn't prove my guilt, but Angelina's. Caught in the act of arson. I gotta show this to Victoria right away. It'll convince her of my innocence. I just need to avoid running into Sister Antolini. She'd be sure to send me packing again. And Murray was just bluffing. There aren't any compromising photos of me. Murray's collection of blackmail material. That guy is so sick. And here, a page from the Willow Creek Daily from last year. What did he save that for? Perhaps because of the article about the robbery in an old people's home in Ipswich. Valuable objects, cash, and passports were stolen. Or perhaps Murray was interested in the article about Spooner's transfer to the provinces. It says here that a young cop from London will replace the well-loved Inspector Collier, who's retiring. Conrad Spooner led the investigation in a case which didn't exactly cover the London police service in glory. More on page 7. Is Spooner just the scapegoat, or did he really do a bad job? One thing's for sure, he won't be able to fill Inspector Collier's shoes so quickly. I guess he really doesn't like them either. Perhaps I'll burn the evidence later. Angelina doing her favorite things, murder and arson. Boy, guy was lucky that she didn't catch him taking these photos. That photo won't help me much with the police. He can't see Miss Valley's corpse. But perhaps I can use it to convince Victoria that I'm innocent? I don't want to burn that. You always need a pencil. There are some steps below that lead behind the hotel, but at night you can hardly see anything. I'd better stay here.
You can't live in my place for nothing all year.
Damn, I think Tom's coming.
Yeah, what you on about? It's just one more week.
Just in time. They almost saw me. As long as Tom and Matt are in the village square, I'd better stay away. There she is again. The white lady from the shack. What? Oh, she's coming closer. Whoa, she's floating like a ghost. What if she is one? Keep calm, Darren. At least it would be better than one of those hellhounds. A friendly ghost is actually fine, particularly when it's so beautiful. Also sad. Should I follow her? Into the realm of the dead, or what? Oh, whatever. I've still got a whole packet of Halo Paradox with me. If the whole thing gets a bit too crazy for me, I'll take one. Where's she gone now? Strange, I hardly let her out of my sight. The gate is open for me? I hope the ghost is some kind of angel. This isn't the gate to hell. The gate's open? Why should I ring the bell? You can hardly see any signs of the fire on the west wing. It almost seems as though these old walls just didn't want to collapse. A huge skull above the door. Makes you feel right at home. There are people in the hall. Construction guys, I guess. I'd better go another way. Otherwise, Sister Antolini is sure to get wind that I'm in the castle. whatever's being mixed in here, it can't be cement. Otherwise, there'd be a pile of sand nearby. I hope the construction guys know what they're doing. Huh. The scaffolding is just asking to be climbed on. But unfortunately, I can't see any open windows. Anyway, it would be impossible to climb on it quietly without being noticed. To say it's dilapidated would be a serious understatement. A bit small for having a barbecue, but there's the garden for that. The ladder is too short to reach the first floor. I should look for another way. Why do I constantly have the feeling that a big monkey is sitting up there throwing barrels at me? I wonder if there was ever a pretty maiden in this castle. Here, it goes down a few meters, and then the large surrounding garden begins. The fitting description would be wilderness. It looks even older than the castle, if that's at all possible. Not exactly what you'd expect from a castle garden. Looks like Lewis hadn't taken his job seriously for quite some time. Pretty tall, this greenhouse. It's more like an orangery, where lemon trees are housed over the winter. If I remember correctly, Victoria's in the castle, not in the greenhouse. The kitchen looks like a real mess. Lewis must have started the blaze here. There's nothing left to eat here. The most I could hope for here is smoked meat. It's an iron ceiling truss. Hopefully, they're supporting the unsound masonry. Don't step on a creaky floorboard. Damn, it'd be impossible to sneak past them unnoticed. I have to distract them somehow. No crockery left in here. All gone in the fire, I guess. There's a candle. If I don't have a flashlight, I should at least take this with me. Judging by the state of this door, it'll create a level of noise equivalent to a collapsing house when you open it. That would be much too loud. Oh look, a wheelbarrow, used to transport drunken workers. An empty pot. I'm guessing the guys here have heated up their lunch in it. I have no idea what I could do with a pot at the moment. I think I'll leave it here. There's even more garbage lying around here. There used to be fireworks in here. I might be able to lure the construction guys out of the house for a moment with a firework like this. But these ones here are unusable. So it explodes in my hand? No thanks. I could fill the roll with the gunpowder from the ammo. I've just got to open the cartridges first. I can't get the ammunition out with the scalpel, so something like a pair of pliers would be good. I can use the pliers to get the slug out of the cartridge. That way I'll make the thing harmless and get a charge of gunpowder at the same time. Gunpowder. You can never have enough of that. Fireworks are mostly made of cardboard, not plastic. I think there's a pretty good reason for that. I'll fill the cardboard tube with the gunpowder. Just a shame that it always trickles out of the ends. The gunpowder is nicely saved in the cardboard roll. I've just got to come up with something to seal the ends. The wax is too hard to seal the roll with. It's not lit. Click. Let there be light. A candlelight. Now only the dinner is missing. And a woman. I once heard that a sailor dies every time you light a cigarette on a candle. I can seal the cardboard roll with the wax, so the gunpowder doesn't trickle out. Now the gunpowder will stay inside. Just needs a fuse on it, and then I've got myself a firework. I'll stick the cigarette in one end of the cardboard roll. If you light the cigarette, it'll burn down and make the gunpowder explode. So now I've built my own firework. That should make a serious bang. I should first find a suitable place for my firework. It's too risky just to lure the workers into the kitchen. I have to get them out of the castle. I'm not sure. What if they look for what made the noise, but don't find anything? I've only got one chance, and I shouldn't waste it. A pane of glass is missing, but it still works. The lamp is the perfect place to set off my fireworks. It's dry, and the construction guys are sure to notice a broken lamp. Okay, I've got about 2 minutes until this explodes. And miss all the fun? No. So, it's time. After all, I want to be in the front row when the show begins.
Whoa! What was that?
Sounded like a gunshot.
Damn, why aren't they going out?
Might have been a firework. I saw one of them spotted kids messing around on the wall again recently.
Have you seen what they've done to our scaffolding?
No. I've been on the facade since last week.
They've covered it in paint. Go and have a look. It's like a hippie ladder.
Little sods. Why are they hanging around here not in school? What's that about?
Steve, I've got an idea.
What kind of idea, Greg?
Why don't we stick their fireworks up their spotty bums and fly under the moon?
Yeah, why not?
Blast. I hope they don't actually catch up with those poor kids. Could turn ugly. I can have a look at the map later. I better be careful just now. Turn back so close to my goal? I don't think so. I've got no time to waste. Victoria's room wasn't so far back. Damn.
What's all that noise? Greg! Steve! Was that you? Hey, Greg! Steve! What the heck is going on here?
She's disappearing into the hall. Now full speed to Victoria. Victoria? Please wake up, Victoria.
What? Who? Adrian? What are you doing here? I told you, I don't want to see you again.
I'm sorry, but I gotta talk to you. I can prove I'm innocent. You can see Angelina here on this photo, Victoria, killing Miss Valley. Here, look at it.
Angelina? But why? I don't understand.
Angelina also gave the order to set the castle on fire. And she killed Sally, Catherine, and Lewis, all just because of Mordred's curse. She needed my blood, because only male Gordons are capable of activating Mordred's power. You knew about that, Victoria. Please don't tell me you didn't know.
But she was my little Angelina. How could she do something like that?
I was hoping you could tell me that. There's that order that followed me.
Miss Valley's order? A bunch of bunglers. They wanted to prevent something like what happened 12 years ago from happening again. But they've got no idea what they're fighting against. Most of them see it as an amusing diversion from their lives. Acting mysteriously and having secret meetings in silly frocks. Miss Valley was the only one who really knew what it was about. The original order has existed for hundreds of years. It keeps the secrets hidden. However, we supported Miss Valley financially. It was, after all, in our interest that you, Adrian, did not return to Black Mirror.
I see. I saw something strange there, and I don't know who else I could ask about it. This white lady, exactly the one in this painting, or very similar, I don't know. Either way, I saw her in the woods. She was running around like a ghost. But it wasn't a ghost, was it?
A white lady in the woods? Are you sure?
So it really was a ghost. Oh my god, I really am going crazy.
No. Calm down, Adrian. Everything's fine. Perhaps better than I dared to hope. Tell me more about the lady. What did she look like? What did she have on?
I didn't see her all that well. She had long white hair, she had a long dress on with a belt, some kind of coat of arms on it.
The woman you saw is Maria Gordon, Mordred's wife. She can find no peace, not for centuries. She wanders the woods of Black Mirror because she's searching for her child. Her child and Mordred's. I've seen her too.
You've seen her too? Then she really does exist.
We're in Black Mirror Castle, Adrian. Which reality are you talking about?
What happened to the child?
All right, what I'm about to tell you has never left these walls. And it would be good if it stayed that way. It's perhaps the oldest of our family stories, and also the most dreadful. You want to know what happened to the child? That's what Maria asks herself to this day. All we know is that Mordred took it away because he thought it wasn't his biological child. He thought Maria cheated on him with his brother, Marcus, and wanted to make her pay for that. What he did to the child remains a mystery until today. It was never seen again.
So Mordred's wife was unfaithful, and because of that he cursed everyone?
No, Maria wasn't unfaithful to Mordred. It was his hate that made him think something like that. Hate and jealousy towards his brother, even though the two of them fought many battles together, side by side. But that was before they came to Black Mirror. Something here changed Mordred, contaminated his heart. He mistrusted everyone. His soldiers, his wife, his brother, became more and more withdrawn, became arrogant. Finally, he looked at his own child and didn't recognize it. Thought he could see similarities with his brother in his face. He wanted to kill it, but no one knows if he did. When things fell pure, he snatched it from Maria and took it into the catacombs under the castle. In her desperation, Maria called for Marcus, begged him for help. For Mordred, this was further evidence to support his suspicion. Marcus came, challenged Mordred to a duel, and killed him. But he didn't find the child, no matter how he searched. It was as though he'd disappeared.
What?
Adrian, we've no time to lose. You're the last Gordon of the Marcus lineage. The castle should belong to you. Give me some paper and a pen. There, in the drawer. I must confirm your true identity. Otherwise, no one will know that you're the lawful heir. Hurry. I can feel my strength waning, Adrian. My life's coming to an end.
No, Victoria, please. I need you. I won't know what to do without you.
Without me, you might not have been in this position. We were very thorough when it came to you. He even had you a death certificate drawn up.
Let me guess. Dr. Herman did that.
We made a mistake. Forgive me, Adrian.
It's all right. You only wanted to protect me. But it might have been better if I'd known what it was about. Then I might not have walked into Angelina's trap. What kind of curse is it?
Before Mordred died, he put a curse on Marcus's male descendants. They were to complete his work. One day a golden devoted to evil would be born, who would bring Mordred back to the realm of the living.
And Angelina wanted to have his power. But why, if only the male Gordons were cursed?
Because your twins, the curse, must have somehow got mixed up.
How's that?
I'm sorry. I can't tell you any more, Adrian. It is just an assumption.
What can you tell me about the ritual chamber?
I've never been there myself. But apparently Mordred's power is strongest there. That place is not of this world. It's in the Shade World.
I think me and Angelina, we heard Mordred when we were there.
What exactly happened in the ritual chamber?
Well, I completed all of the tasks. Spilt my blood on the relief.
And did you speak the words?
I think so.
Oh God, Adrian, then the ritual's complete. You've laid open the way for Mordred.
What do you mean? Am I cursed now?
Worse, Adrian. Worse. Mordred's spirit is now in you. Adrian, in you. Oh my God, Adrian, what have you done?
Mordred is inside me? Oh, hell, that's exactly what I feared.
Stay calm. Let's stay calm and think. How do you feel? Is anything different?
Yes, there are these visions. They feel quite real. They're sick, violent, but maybe they aren't anymore. I wanted to go for Murray's throat earlier. That definitely wasn't a vision.
When did you see the White Lady last?
Just now, in front of the castle.
Then you haven't yet done evil. Your heart is still pure. You're strong, Adrian. You've managed to resist, and you must continue to do so. Resist Mordred for as long as you can. He will get stronger and stronger, and you will get weaker. He wants to control you. At some point, he will take control of you.
How can I prevent Mordred from controlling me?
There are only two ways to banish him. Mordred's vessel must be destroyed. You know what I mean by that.
I guess you mean the Samuel variety? A little jump from the tower, directly onto a pointy iron fence. Sounds tempting.
It's certainly the easier option.
Really? What would the difficult one be then?
You have to go back to where everything began.
To the ritual chamber? But it's buried.
Where everything began.
But do you mean where Mordred uttered the curse?
It's all written in the book.
In which book?
I'm so tired, Adrian. I can't go on.
No, please don't close your eyes now, Victoria. Stay awake, please. Just tell me what book you're talking about. A chronicle or the Bible?
The book. Please read it. In the room.
Which room?
Under the ground. The 6 menhirs will point you to the entrance.
Which menhirs?
The path begins there. The path you have to follow to the end. To the very end.
Do you mean the big stones around the castle?
Stop there. Search at the menhirs. Adrian, promise me.
Yes, I'll do it.
Promise me.
Yes, I promise. Victoria, please wait. There's so much you have to tell me. Victoria. What are you doing here? How did you get... She's dying. Do something. Quick!
Leave now.